somewhere in a jungle meeting and he says he's a farmer. What he planting now is poor. But he making people poorer and poorer, and everybody have to grovel and genuflect at his feet. So if you want, I will take out all your feathers, just like Stalin, Joseph Stalin. You'll be bleeding, but I'll be feeding you with some rice. So eat at my feet. And more he brutalize us and disrespect us and impoverish us and enslave us. All of a sudden, he is the best thing that ever happened to Dominica. And I concur, Matt. I agree. The best thing that ever happened to Dominica is this boy they call Roosevelt Skerrit, given leadership of this country to drive it down to hell. The bourgeoisie in particular. The people that are really benefiting, they may have to feel the squeeze before we get rid of this madness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to play you a speech from Mr. Lennox Linton, a letter to Mr. Charles Savarin. Let's listen to this one.
Your Excellency Charles Savarin, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, President's Office, State House, Victoria Street, Rosa, Commonwealth of Dominica. Your Excellency, in our letter to you dated March 9th, 2017, we sought urgent action from the head of state to rid Dominica of the disgrace to its international image occasioned by the corrupt and roguish conduct of Roosevelt Skerrit as Prime Minister. We also took issue with the misrepresentations in your address to the nation on February 22nd, 2017, engineered to put our political organization, the official parliamentary opposition of Dominica, in bad light. Quite contrary to the statement in your letter dated March 27th, 2017, that our letter is, quote, replete with accusations and allegations against the Honorable Prime Minister and the President, end of quote, we merely stated the truth and facts of the state of governance in Dominica, which require urgent action from lawful authority responsible for protecting our beloved nation from the excesses of reckless, incompetent, corrupt leadership. As you're very well aware, Dominica has been plunged into a severe crisis of confidence by the actions and associations of Roosevelt Skerrit with international racketeers, money launderers, and fugitives from justice who pose continuing threats to global peace and security. While you addressed the nation on the disturbances of February 7th, 2017, you have so far found it impossible to address the nation on the systematic destruction of the country's international image triggered by the Prime Minister's disgraceful and utterly corrupt agenda of abusing public office and public trust to secure unprecedented self-enrichment at any cost. Once again, we ask you to pay attention to these incontrovertible truths in the record of governance now under your watch and act decisively in the public interest. Number one, since 2004, Mr. Skerrit has presided over a corrupt economic citizenship program that has compromised the global security architecture against money laundering and the financing of terrorism. The procedure advertised for getting Dominican citizenship has been breached in some cases to selectively sidestep due diligence on applicants and or grant citizenship without any evidence of payment of money into the government citizenship account. Number two, Mr. Skerrit has persisted with the practice of selling diplomatic passports and diplomatic immunity under the table in flagrant violation of the 1961 United Nations Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations to a band of international rogues and vagabonds, some of whom, example Ng Lap Seng, Francesco Corallo, Eric Toner, Alison Maduke, and Alireza Zibalat Bonfared, have been arrested for international crimes while holding Dominican diplomatic passports. Number three, the leadership of Dominica, a member country of the United Nations, is now associated with a scheme to violate United Nations sanctions against Iran involving the use of Dominican registered vessels transporting sanctioned Iranian oil. One of the operatives, Alireza Monfared, an economic citizen of Dominica since 2009, accused of stealing billions from the sanctions busting scheme, was a Skerrit-appointed diplomat of Dominica and was actually harbored, aided and abetted in Dominica as a fugitive wanted to face justice in Iran. His non-existent companies in Dominica were defended as real by Mr. Skerrit after he wined and dined members of the Skerrit regime in Malaysia with the proceeds of his crimes. Number 4, Dominica is heading for a major economic collapse and record levels of poverty and dependency because of Mr. Skerrit's appalling failure to get the fundamentals of economic growth right and his refusal to steer the country away from wholesale reliance on uncertain economic citizenship revenues. Number 5, having declared that the country will not survive without revenues from government's economic citizenship program, Mr. Skerrit is now unable to ensure that the program meets the requirements of the global banking industry for the prevention of money laundering and counteracting the financing of terrorism. Consequently, international banks operating in Dominica believe the government's economic citizenship revenues are too risky to touch, and the locally owned bank is severely challenged to maintain its correspondent banking connection to the global banking industry as a result of the failure of government to manage the program with integrity, transparency, and accountability. Number 6, taken together, the actions of the Roosevelt Skerrit-led government of Dominica, a member of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, and a member state of CARICOM, represent a contingent liability to the regional monetary system and the ideals of regionalism. 7, there is mounting evidence that Dominica is clearly a rogue state within CARICOM and the international community. Indeed, the conduct of the Dominica government under Roosevelt Skerrit is endangering the close union forged among OACS countries, where there now exists a clear and present danger that rogues, bandits, and those hiding from the law elsewhere in the international community could find safe haven based on the existing protocols within the OACS. We do not believe that the Skerrit administration can be left to bungle its way through these serious issues for which it accepts no responsibility, while Dominica and the rest of the region suffer. In response to your request for guidance on the constitutional provisions that allow you to remove the Prime Minister from office, you need to recall the events leading up to the removal of Patrick John from the office of Prime Minister 38 years ago, and your role and conduct in those events as General Secretary of the Civil Service Association and Chairman of the Committee for National Salvation. History records your references to prime movers that facilitated the constitutional application of the rule of law in the constitutional removal of the government. As someone who back in 1979 saw the then Prime Minister as dangerous to the country and dangerous to the region as a whole, for far less than the grave leadership misdemeanors that the current Prime Minister is involved in, we are sure you appreciate the necessity of decisive presidential action, even if it means invoking the doctrine of necessity to save Dominica from further destruction. Accordingly, having served as a key player in the 1979 change of government, it is incumbent on you to use that valuable experience in the noble cause of releasing the office of Prime Minister from the stranglehold of corruption, incompetence, and international disgrace. You should know, better than anyone else in this country at this time, that given the crystal clear case of serious misconduct in public office against the Prime Minister, nothing in our 1978 Constitution prevents you as head of state from requesting his immediate resignation and inviting the support of the Parliament to secure his removal. That, Your Excellency, is the only honorable course of action available to you in the circumstances of this worsening national crisis. Instead, we note with interest your own clever creation of legal provisions to support the propaganda machine of government in its sinister plan to use a series of false accusations to intimidate the parliamentary opposition away from its demand for the resignation of Roosevelt Skerrit. For example, you claimed in your address to the nation, quote, "Thus, while one has the fundamental right to assemble and to exchange ideas, if such assembly involves the closure or blocking of any public road, restricting the free access of pedestrians and or vehicles, it is necessary to comply with the provisions of the Public Order Act, Chapter 1501, and apply to the Chief of Police for permission, and the granting of such permission, which should not be unreasonably withheld, the Chief of Police may impose such conditions as may be reasonably justifiable in the interest of the public order, public health, public safety, etc." In that regard, by letter dated 6 February 2017, addressed to the Public Relations Officer of the United Workers' Party, permission was given by the Chief of Police for the holding of a public meeting on Upper Kennedy Avenue on Tuesday, the 7th of February 2017, between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. End of quote. Your Excellency, the Public Order Act, Chapter 1501, has 10 sections. None of those 10 sections include any provision requiring any group or individual to apply to the Chief of Police for permission to hold a public meeting in any circumstance. Yet you conveniently manufactured your own legal provisions and falsely attributed them to the Public Order Act, thereby creating deceitful grounds for your prejudicial accusations against the United Workers' Party that it violated conditions to a permission granted by the police which has absolutely no legal basis. For the avoidance of doubt, we state again, 1. The public meeting of February 7th, 2017 was lawful, orderly, and peaceful in every respect and every aspect. We did not require police permission to hold a meeting, and the police had no authority to determine the starting and ending time for the meeting. There is no such law in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The agreement to move the meeting time from 12 to 6 to 11 to 3 came as an act of good faith in our ongoing commitment to work harmoniously with the police as far as is humanly possible within the restrictions of our democratic freedoms. It was in no way an agreement to be bound by the dictates of unreasonable, unlawful authority exercised to suit the dictatorial fancies and whim of Roosevelt Skerrit. Number 2. At the start of his address to the meeting, Honorable Lennox Linton pointed out that the event had progressed for more than 3 hours with absolutely no challenge to the police authority and no incident of lawlessness or disorder. He explained this meant that the people had come in peace for the business of the meeting and would leave in peace at the end of the meeting. Honorable Linton said, notwithstanding the apparent anxiety of the police for the meeting to end promptly at 3 p.m., there was no threat to peace or security, and since there was no law authorizing the police to decide when the meeting should end, the meeting will finish when the meeting is finished. He repeatedly called for peace and good order. Number 3, the public meeting ended peacefully and with absolutely no breach of the Public Order Act at 4:32 p.m., hours before the violence and vandalism erupted following senseless police provocation of a standoff with a group of persons determined to protest a police decision to have the truck with the sound system proceed east to west on Kennedy Avenue. And 4, statements to law enforcement and the court by persons accused of involvement in the violence and vandalism have indicated they acted out of anger and frustration with certain owners of the damaged properties who had previously subjected them to unfair treatment. Your address to the nation 2 weeks after February 7th, 2017, makes no mention of the blatantly false and destructive claim by Roosevelt Skerrit on February 8th, 2017, that members of the parliamentary opposition were involved in a coup by truck against his administration. Amazingly, your choice as president was to concoct a bogus case of blame against the parliamentary opposition to justify this reprehensible act of dishonesty from the office of Prime Minister, notwithstanding its savage assault on the international image of Dominica. This, Your Excellency, is not how a president demonstrates fairness and impartiality in the public interest. At this time of crisis, the nation expects you, as its chief servant and principal embodiment of the common good, to do the right, be firm, be fair, as you act on behalf of the God-fearing people of good conscience from all walks of life in Dominica, to expedite the removal of Roosevelt Skerrit from the office of Prime Minister, which his roguish, corrupt conduct has so thoroughly disgraced. Sincerely, United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton, political leader and parliamentary opposition leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Linton. Of course, I'm sure you'll hear a lot more about that letter written to Mr. Savre, the president of Dominica. When we come back, we'll talk to Fort Young Hotel. Something big going on at Fort Young Hotel Easter Sunday. This Easter weekend there. We'll talk. 9 o'clock. Coming back after this.
Mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, stepmothers, get ready for the Mania 7-11 Plus Super Center Big Edge and Digicel second annual Mother's Day Party. Anchorage Hotel Mother's Day Sunday, May 4th, 6 p.m. to midnight. Second annual Mother's Day Party. Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight, Anchorage Hotel. Swinging Stars, Mr. Mix, Mad in the Morning, Prince Weddings. Dominion 7-11 Plus, a big edge and Digicel. Mother's Day Dance Party, Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight. L'année passée était super. L'année ça n'a qu'à être chouette, qu'à être génial, qu'à être très formidable.
Mais Bishop, vous menez bien là-bas?
Oh, oui. Bello. Oui, moi, oui. Ça part à un deal.
Coming to Dominica, Chakapesh from St. Lucia presents Vienom Sala at the Arawak House of Culture.
Bishop, moi, même position avec mon anti-barban pour aider moi. Ou hakakuichiche moi. Moi, même position pour. Mais oui, garçon.
On Easter Sunday, 16th April, 1 at 3 p.m. A repeat at 7 p.m.
Siko, bagay belle puis moi tellement. Moi pas trop longtemps avant moi bien avec Vienom Sala.
Oui, Steph. Moi quand ba hôtel moi je suis content pourquoi moi.
La vie do. C'est pour ça on va concert.
Tickets $35 in advance, 40 at the door. Tickets available from Bullseye Pharmacy, Arawak House of Culture, Kitty Hawk at Jimit.
Moi pas nos. Man nursing home. Moi pas no hospice. Taxi.
Laughter, therapy for the soul.
Pas même Cox et Glacia. Nobody.
Why choose the Fort Young Hotel? Besides having the most comfortable setting and magnificent views, they offer a taste of the Caribbean's best cuisine. You may want to hop on over with your favorite circle of friends for Unwine Wednesdays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and enjoy wine specials, mouth-watering kebabs, and live entertainment. Drop by for our Seafood Saturdays displayed on our live buffet table, lobsters, snapper, redfish, lionfish, and have our chef prepare it just the way you want, served with the most savory accompaniments and sauces. And every Sunday, join us for brunch from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Marquis Restaurant for a Sunday well spent that will bring a week of content. Like us on Facebook or call 448-5000 to reserve your table. All of this and more is at the Fort Young Hotel. Dine with us today.
All right, and there's something special going on this weekend. Of course, the Fort Young Hotel, always in the house to speak to us about anything special happening. Good morning to you, young lady. How are you?
Good morning, Matt, and good morning to our listeners. And once we're here, there's always something.
It has to be something special, yes.
And of course, it's Easter Sunday, so we're having. It's the High Tea Party. It is the first time the Fort Young Hotel will be having this event on. So we're inviting everyone to take advantage of this High Tea Party special. So you're coming down to the Fort Young Hotel for tea sipping and story swapping. So of course we have Tamara Lowe as one of the persons providing us with storytelling. We have a violinist as well, Miss Kayla Gist. And of course we have a lot of people know Sadrach, who is a very popular artist. He's also going to be there, and that's happening on Easter Sunday, April 16th.
From what time?
From 4 p.m. until 6:30 p.m., and that's going to be upstairs in the Marquis Hall. Tickets only EC $110, and I'm going to tell you what's on the menu with that price.
Oh, we need to know. But before we do, we're going to take a break and come right back. Okay, we'll find out what's on the menu this Easter Sunday, Fort Young Hotel. Stick around.
Why choose the Fort Young Hotel? Besides having the most comfortable setting and magnificent views, they offer a taste of the Caribbean's best cuisine. You may want to hop on over with your favorite circle of friends for Unwine Wednesdays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and enjoy wine specials, mouth-watering kebabs, and live entertainment. Drop by for our Seafood Saturdays displayed on our live buffet table, lobsters, snapper, redfish, lionfish, and have our chef prepare it just the way you want, served with the most savory accompaniments and sauces. And every Sunday, join us for brunch from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Marquis Restaurant for a Sunday well spent that will bring a week of content. Like us on Facebook or call 448-5000 to reserve your table. All of this and more is at the Fort Young Hotel. Dine with us today.
Okay, and don't forget this Sunday is special Easter Sunday. Let's learn about the menu on Sunday before we allow the beautiful lady in the house to leave us this morning. So tell us about the menu on Sunday.
So our chef and the food and beverage department have put together a delicious menu for our high tea party on April 16th. So we have blackened shrimp and crispy chilled cucumber. We have Asian spice chicken wraps, strawberry and cream cheese sandwiches, roast beef sandwiches, petit foie, assorted cookies, fruits, cinnamon buns with melted icing, and scones. And for your drink option, of course, we have a variety of teas. It's a tea party. We have fruity frozen drinks, guava, papaya, and pineapple. We have fruit punch and fruit-infused water. And that is on April 16th, Easter Sunday, at EC 110 per person. That's happening all upstairs in the Marquis Hall from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And we have violinist Kayla Ann Gist. We have the very popular Sadrach Burton, who is an artist. And of course, we have Tamara Lowe providing us with poetry. So it's all happening on Easter Sunday at the Fort Young Hotel. And of course, Matt, you can always call us at 448-5000 for more information. Or you can email us at info@fortyounghotel.com for more information on our weekend activity.
Thank you. High tea party. Never heard this one before. I suspect it's going to be great, huh? Great organizers there at the Fort Young Hotel. We want to tell you, book your tickets early. That's very important, okay? All right, so go check them out today at the Fort Young Hotel. High tea party coming up on Sunday. Thank you so much, all right?
Why choose the Fort Young Hotel? Besides having the most comfortable setting and magnificent views, they offer a taste of the Caribbean's best cuisine. You may want to hop on over with your favorite circle of friends for Unwine Wednesdays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and enjoy wine specials, mouth-watering kebabs, and live entertainment. Drop by for our Seafood Saturdays displayed on our live buffet table, lobsters, snapper, redfish, lionfish, and have our chef prepare it just the way you want, served with the most savory accompaniments and sauces. And every Sunday, join us for brunch from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Marquis Restaurant for a Sunday well spent that will bring a week of content. Like us on Facebook or call 448-5000 to reserve your table. All of this and more is at the Fort Young Hotel. Dine with us today.
9:09, of course, we want to find out about everything happening in Dominica. College and Baptist covering the courts. College and Baptist, anything we should know about? Good morning, Monday.
Hi, Matt. Morning to you. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing A-OK, trying to find out what's going on from you.
Yeah, I'm there doing fine, thanks. How was the weekend?
Great.
Okay. A number of things has been going on. Well, in fact, I can tell you, over the weekend, well, on Friday to be more precise, there was some sentencing and variation of sentencing which took place at the High Court in Roseau. A number of matters came up. Among them, I'll tell you, there is Nadisha Draigo, who is charged on 2 counts of theft, and she appeared in court. She's pregnant, and her matter was sent to July 10th for reporting. We had a matter dealing with Leroy Williams causing death by dangerous driving, and the prosecution said it's ready to proceed, and so the matter was set for the 25th of April 2017 for reporting. Lowette Montel Dick, charged with the murder of Ken Michel. The matter was set for April 25 for case management. We had a matter dealing with bestiality also, and that's John Frank Stedman, who pleaded guilty to bestiality. A psychiatric report was asked for. That was not forthcoming, and so the matter was sent for the 28th of April. He's pleaded guilty, where the court is expected to receive a psychiatric report. Also, we had a mitigation pleas being done, and the facts being delivered in a matter dealing with Gary John Finn. Gary John Finn from Dominica. He was indicted on 1 count of unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. The child in question at that time was age 13 years and 7 months, and the incident happened between the 31st day of December 2012 and the 31st day of March 2013. He pleaded guilty, and the basic facts is that at the time of the incident, he was the boyfriend of the VC's sister, and they have twin sisters, and so he entered the house. He normally frequents the house. He entered the house in question, saw the young child there, and proceeded to kiss her, etc., and then he had unlawful sexual intercourse with her. He did it a few times, and so the matter was reported to the police, and he was arrested and charged, and he pleaded guilty. And sentencing, after mitigation plea was done, sentencing will be done later down in this, in fact, on the 28th of April. Another matter that came up is that of Edison Kurt Pemberton, and I want to take my time to explain that. Edison Kurt Pemberton was sentenced to 4 years, 7 months in prison, and he was sentenced on March 17, 2017. The judge then stated that time served on remand would be deducted, and so he was in prison, or he has been in prison from 2015 when the incident occurred. It was brought to the judge's attention that...
But can I break it down for the lawman there? Because that sounds like all technical language here. How long will this gentleman stay in jail?
Well, that is what I'm just about to do. That is what I'm just about to do. It was brought to the judge's attention that he was serving a 6-month jail sentence before she sentenced him. And so his sentence has been varied. His sentence remains 4 years, 7 months, but it has been varied less 8 months, 27 days. So in essence, he will serve minus 8 months, 27 days. So his sentence, Matt, would have commenced after he would have served the 6 months in jail.
So when did that 6 months wrap up, Kalan?
The 6 months would have wrapped up in sometime in 2016. So you minus 8 months and 27 days from the 4 years and 7 months, and that would be his sentence. So I saw on a website in Dominica that his sentence was increased to 5 years. That is wrong. His sentence, my notes there, his sentence has been varied less 8 months, 27 days.
So somebody was reporting that wrongly outside there.
That is very correct. And unfortunately, it was also reported on Q95, this morning's news. And then the family of Miss Blanchard called me for variation. And then I have to explain to them, no, that his sentence remains 4 years, 7 months, minus 8 months, 27 days. So before, it would have been minus time served, which would have been from 2015. But it has been varied to 8 months, 27 days. So you remove 8 months, 27 days from 4 years and 7 months, and you get the sentence he's serving. Basic maths.
Okay, all right. So one of the websites in Dominica, plus Q95, must have reported that from that website. Thanks for the variation, Carlisle. Thank you for the correction.
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you very much. Let's move on here this morning. Thank you.
Where Harry did with Bosinclair, if you want to support and learning. It is how cafe Episa, and not well my last 2 words. Episa. Harry upon yes is true. Pisa money on Tipotla. Don't get him up to make a urine and see him 3 times a day. Madam Lily, do urine Harry, mew, no medicine boost, yep, are you? And where's the prescription? It me a posh mommy. What's the sense of buying that? Lemoka PC No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. PS.plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Kote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Kote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see right in your medical book, next of King, Henrietta, Harry, movie farmer. By the way, is next of King, King, the Harry Ukakemo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have
Mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, stepmothers, get ready for the Mania 7-Eleven Plus Super Center Big Edge and Digicel 2nd Annual Mother's Day Party. Anchorage Hotel Mother's Day Sunday, May 4th, 6 p.m. to midnight. 2nd Annual Mother's Day Party. Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight, Anchorage Hotel. Swinging Stars, Mr. Mix, Matt in the Morning, Prince Weddings. Dominion 7-Eleven Plus, Big Edge and Digicel. Mother's Day Dance Party, Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight. L'année passée était super. L'année ça n'a qu'à être chouette, qu'à être génial, qu'à être très formidable.
Mais Bishop, vous menez bien là-bas?
Oh, oui. Bello. Oui, moi, nous comment? Oui, ça part à un dos.
Coming to Dominica, Chakapesh from St. Lucia presents Vietnam Sala at the Arawak House of Culture.
Bishop, moi, même position avec moi. Antibaouban pour aider moi. Ou hakakuichiche moi. Moi, même position pour. Mais oui, garçon.
On Easter Sunday, 16th April, 1 at 3 p.m. A repeat at 7 p.m.
Siko, bagay bel epi moi tellement. Moi pour toi longtemps avec moi bien avec Vietnam ça.
Oui, Steph. Moi contre ba tellement moi je contre pourquoi moi.
La vie c'est pour ça on conseille.
Tickets $35 in advance, 40 at the door. Tickets available from Bullseye Pharmacy, Arawak House of Culture, Kitty Hawk at Jimit.
Mopanos, Manos in Hope, Mopano Hospice. Taxi!
Laughter, therapy for the soul.
Pamem Cox, Eglacia, nobody.
Do you want to drive longer for less? New state-of-the-art Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel fuel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech helps keep your engine clean and running like new. What does this really mean for you? Simple. You drive longer and save money. Fuel the difference with Rubis Ultratech fuel. Get Rubis. Get going.
Delicious and creamy coconut curry shrimp, decadent and smoky barbecue ribs, mouth-watering seafood, and a wide selection. Try a satisfying glass of our famous Greenhouse Rum Punch. Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill, the ideal place for casual dining, healthy MSG-free foods. Come and dine with us in our downtown location or on the Mero Highway. And don't forget our Bayview Catering Hall, where we do weddings, company events, and so much more. Greenhouse is a place for a quality dining experience, drinks, and a comfortable ambiance. Call us in Roseau, 448-0080. In Mero, 449-7223. Visit our Facebook page, Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill and Bayview Catering Hall. We work hard at improving our quality to meet your demands.
Pourtant, Timon la oui, I don't like beef. Puis manger mon souviens beef, ni pour dire c'est good meat. Mais là, il vient pour Yves corn beef, pour y kaki madame. Mami, madame, for sopa. Why madame? Adam's wife, no Eve. Depuis you want to cuisine là, elle va dire good evening. Even it's day or night, mama is happy Yves corn beef evening. Because you see, Yves corn beef maintains that special old-time taste. Here me Yves corn beef, of course, with bread. Yves corn beef epi bakes. Yves corn beef epi macaron. Yves corn beef epi tiwi. It just like titiwi and rice. If corn beef with boiled plantain, you can do mommy, cut the plantain and put the corn beef in it like a sandwich. If corn beef have any adegos, the big tin and the small tin. But lewe papa mem ouvon tip and if corn beef is for him alone with a big mastiff. And what I like about the if corn beef is the key to open it. That's strong. If I can cast it and let me. If corn beef, messieurs, mesdames, agents, Belfast Estates Limited, ever got tupa to a payer. So to everyone, I wish you a good evening today.
Relocation.
Comme madame a reporté ça que vous achetez médecine pour des petits pharmacies, where Harry did good bossing class, if you want to support and land. It is how cafe Episa and not well my last 2 weeks. Episa. Harry upon yes is true. Pisa money on tipotla. Doctor him up to make the urine and zemo 3 times a day. Madame Lieli do urine Harry, mew no medicine boost yep are you. And where's the prescription? It me a posh mommy. What's the sense of buying that? Lemo capi say tout temps. No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. PS.plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Cote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Cote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They've brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see you writing your medical book, Next of King, Henrietta, Harry, movie farmer. By the way, is Next of King, King, the Harry Ukakimo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have
Relocation notice from Isa Trading Limited. Dear customers, we regret to inform you that the location of our supermarket on 13 Hanover Street will be closed permanently on Tuesday, April 17th, 2017 to facilitate relocation. As soon as we have found a suitable premise, we will be reopening our supermarket. We wish to apologize for the short notice, which was beyond our control. We are very grateful to you, our customers, for your unwavering support over the years. Our aim is to continue serving you in the very near future. The management and staff of Isa Trading Limited once again would like to thank customers for their unwavering support. Relocation notice from Isa Trading Limited. Dear customers,
no, I've never been someone shy.
Relocation notice there from Isa Trading Limited.
Still I had to try, yeah.
But I chose that song because I have royalty in the house for a few minutes this morning. Pretty thankful for that, and she will tell you, the Queen of Dominica will tell you why she's here.
I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal.
She's royal, and royalty is in the house, of course. Dr. Saint Jean, that's my biology teacher. Can you remember?
Oh, yes.
Good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning, Matt.
Of course, and last week we had a very special day. I think it was Health Day on Thursday. World Health Day. They both are here with me this morning. Of course, we'll be talking something you'll be interested to hear about, okay? So stick around and find out. This is Q, the big station. Good morning, both of you, and again, welcome. Doc, welcome to you. Because I think our focus this morning is more depression. We want to find out what is really depression about this morning.
All right. Matt, thanks for the opportunity to be here with you, and thanks for the opportunity to disseminate some information with regard to depression. Of course, I'm not surprised that I would get an opportunity to be interviewed by one of my most astute students. I remember that very well. Matt, actually, the focus this week, and of course last week, we could say, is on depression because of its significance, the toll that it can take or it has taken among our...
But Doc, what is depression?
Depression itself is a mental health disorder. Okay, specifically, it's a mood disorder characterized by persistent low mood. So what you find here is that you have typically, for those of us who are into looking for mnemonics, we said that it is characterized by basically suicidal ideation, loss of interest, guilt, and loss of appetite, and what we call psychomotor retardation. So essentially, that person basically loses interest in pleasure, especially sex. That person, if you monitor that person very well, you'll find that this person has changed from a very vibrant person to someone who seems to be lost, someone who's always fidgeting at the fingers. Those,
those are signs.
Yeah, those are signs. Those are symptoms, actually. So you look out for these things. What we have to understand is that depression itself, it's not like grief, all right? So we could say it is different from the normal fluctuations in mood that we experience. Mm-hmm. Some people are going through little grief, well, perhaps significant grief, but that itself does not constitute depression. Depression, that condition must have persisted for at least 2 weeks, and you must have at least 5 out of numerous symptoms, which some of which...
So if somebody says to you, you're depressed, and if somebody says to you, you are suffering from stress, different.
It is different. So somebody, for example, in my practice, I will see somebody says, Doc, I'm going through some emotional problems. I have financial problems. I have some. So the first question I ask is the duration. If it's just a day or 2 or 3, I would say most likely that's a depressive episode. But if you're talking about symptoms that have been persisting for more than 2 weeks, and most importantly, those symptoms have been causing changes that are affecting the daily routine of that person. So it's not just, well, some people are able to cope with it, but essentially I have to find out exactly to what extent those symptoms are affecting you, your interaction with people.
Is this very prevalent in our society? I mean,
it is prevalent. In fact, from a little research that I did there, it says that most people seem to be depressed, but they are not aware of it. So in terms of how, what's the prevalence, I'm reading a site there from psychiatry.org. It is saying that depression in adults is estimated 1 in 15 adults for a given year. 1 in 15 adults for any given year. Another point about depression is that it says 1 in 6 people will experience depression at some time of their life. some people might be interested to know, well, what's the difference between, men and women having depression? Well, we are finding out that depression is most likely to occur among women. Women are more likely.
I wonder why.
I don't know. There are several causes, okay, but statistics have been showing that women are more prone to depression, or they will most likely be exposed to a major depression more than the men. Of course, the presentation between depression in a man as opposed to a woman can be different.
Very interesting, of course. We're here also with our queen of Dominica, and I know that was a platform, is it?
Yes.
During this year's 2017 Queen competition, of course, she emerged winner, and she's here with us. Good morning again.
Hi, good morning to all listeners.
You listen to the doctor attentively. What can you tell us this morning?
Well, this morning I'm very happy to be collaborating with Dr. Seja and the Ministry of Health. As you stated, last week was World Health Day, celebrated under the theme Depression, Let's Talk. And I am extremely happy that mental health and mental illness is being given priority, because it is something that is very important. It is something that a lot of us find very difficult to discuss in our society, and seeing that was my platform, I am so excited to be here this morning to raise awareness, and to Dr. will focus on the more medical part of it, but what I can do is share my experience and to encourage others who may be suffering with mental illness, or who have family members suffering with mental illness. They need to realize how support is extremely, extremely important. Yes, the doctors will do what they have to do, but family members and communities need to play a critical role in supporting the mentally ill in our society.
Well, I'm very happy you could join us this morning. Of course, as you said, Doctor will focus on the medical aspects. But let's talk about your own experience and your exposure to what we call depression.
Yes, my mother was diagnosed with a mental illness when I was very young. Mm-hmm. It is not depression, but depression does contribute, because there are times where after she has an episode, she goes into a very depressive state of mind. As doctor said, she has lack of interest in basically life, and I have to be that encouragement and that push that she needs to continue. So depression is something that will affect a lot of us in life, maybe not personally, but a family member, a friend, someone that you care about. And while antidepressants are used to treat depression, as well as support from psychiatrists and other medical health professionals, what has been important to me and what I have seen that has made a difference, especially for my mother, is simply letting her know that I love her and I care for her through some of the most difficult times. So sometimes we downplay the support that we may give to someone, but at that critical time, they really, really need it.
Is it challenging for you at times?
Of course, it is very challenging. Anytime a family member or friend is sick, no matter what type of illness, it would be challenging for anyone. There are persons who suffer from cancer and other non-communicable diseases as well. So it is challenging, but I believe it is something that I must do. First of all, I am a child. She cared for me and brought me to this point. And also, I love her. She has been a very supportive mother. Despite her illness, she has really ensured that I stayed on the right path. And I'm very happy to do it.
All right. So, how do you deal with this? It seems like almost, in our society, when you have some mental problem, people dismiss you. How do you deal with this?
Well, prayer, of course, is always important in everything. We have to put God first, so I do ensure that I pray. And also, I maintain a very positive relationship with my mother. Despite the difficulties, I choose always to forgive her and to let her know that I need her. And also, by participating in Miss Dominica, of course, and speaking about mental illness, I believe that I have made a difference in shining a more positive light on mental illness.
People have approached you because of that, because of your platform this year? People suffering with mental problems.
Well, many people have approached me and told me that they really love my platform and how I should ensure that I continue it even throughout my reign, and I do intend to do that as well. One of my team members even told me that there's a co-worker of hers who really wants to speak to me because she personally has had a family member with mental issues. And it seems that a lot of us know that it is something that is important, but the fear of speaking about it still exists. And so I hope that throughout my reign, and of course in collaborating with the Ministry of Health, that we can ensure that mental illness, the stigma associated with mental illness, is eradicated.
Doc, any points at this time? I mean, a lot of people are asking the question, is there a cure for depression?
Yeah, it's a treatable condition actually. So the most important thing is to catch it early and recognize the telltale signs. Remember I said that you have a few of those symptoms. Fatigue, lack of sleep. Some people overeat. Some people tend to have, as I said, diminished interest in pleasurable things, including sex. And most importantly, the whole idea of suicide and death. So you have that recurrent thought of death, not just fearing death, but perhaps dying or something of that sort. So we have to be able to recognize these early signs and, of course, seek intervention. They are medical intervention. It is treatable. You have the tablets. You have the what we call the serotonin, SSRIs, serotonin secreting receptor inhibitors. What I mean by that is that there are chemicals that the brain, that we have in our brain or in our blood, serotonin, and that helps with pleasure. So what happens is that depression is like you are on a constant low. It's like the serotonin levels is low. So you want a drug that will make that serotonin high, persist in your system. So these are the new ones, the SSRIs. They used to have the tricyclics, antidepressant. These have been losing favor because of the cardiac problems that are associated with them. You have, as our dear Queen alluded to, counseling, okay? And in very extreme situations where these don't work, medical intervention, counseling don't work, they go through a very extreme form of treatment, almost like, involving radiation and these kind of things like that. So it is treatable, yes.
All right. I think, as always, we're dealing with the hot seat, so people will have their own questions. Somebody from the diaspora is on the line at this time. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Matt, and your guests.
Yes, good morning.
I have two quick questions. Is madness and depression, are they two different things?
All right. Well, the doctor is here. I don't know if I can answer that question, but definitely maybe the doctor can assist. Yes, doctor, madness and depression,
yes.
Are they two different things?
Depression can exist with other conditions. Depression can exist with psychotic features. Depression can exist with manic features, what they call mania. So that person is always on a constant high. So you find that a combination of being very high at one point and very low at another point, we normally refer to it as bipolar. So these people are very unpredictable, So you have depression can exist with several other conditions, including psychotic features, or by psychotic we mean hallucination and delusional thoughts, etc.
So, brother, two different things, okay? It's 8:36. And Queen, tell me about the low period and the high period. Some days your mom might be okay as it relates to the mental illness, and some months or days, she might just be not communicating at all.
Well, it is very interesting. First and foremost, once she complies with medication, she is usually very controlled and can be as any normal person in our society.
Okay.
The issue arises at times where she is non-compliant to the medication.
So you know almost immediately something is wrong.
Yes, it's a build-up, but interestingly, she can be very fine today, and tomorrow she could show symptoms of being very ill that I may need to bring her to the hospital. So it's something that is very volatile. she can be very calm one day and next day she can exhibit symptoms. So I always have to be on the lookout.
So you have to monitor constantly. Doc, you can relate to that. I see you smiling.
Yes. Actually, I'm just thinking of it. And as she's talking about that, I'm thinking of what about women who go through menopause?
Okay.
Because typically these features do present themselves. There are times that they're very low and times that they're very high. The typical bipolars. But I wouldn't classify the menopausal women as bipolar, okay? But it's just interesting to see that the symptoms seems to overlap, and the highs and the lows, etc. Remember, we said that for us to say that you have depression, you must have at least 5 of those symptoms, and they must have been causing clinical impairment in your function, and of course, the duration, at least 2 weeks or more.
All right. Somebody on the telephone?
Hey, good morning, Matt.
My brother.
Good morning to the doctor and good morning to the Queen.
Yes,
and,
Queen, the royal is in the house.
Let me say congratulations to her on winning the crown, and let me give commendations to her for sticking through thick and thin with her mom in a situation like that, because what we see in our society is when people go through these challenging periods, you find they need the support, and that's when they don't get the support. So I want to really congratulate her on that level, because it is something that can be very challenging. People usually run away from it, don't give the support that is needed, and she's doing a very good job, and I think she understands what she's dealing with.
I must commend her as a young person.
Oh, yes, Matt, because honestly, I mean, look at how she's explaining to you the highs and the lows and what she has to deal with, and I guess she had to deal with that from a very early age. And trust me, my brother, many young people would not have stayed through that kind of situation. So I want to really, really, really congratulate her. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, you must be commended as a young person. You know, we don't take interest in these things, and you have made it your focus, your platform in this Queen competition, and you know, all kudos to you this morning.
Thank you very much
for joining Dr. Seja.
Yeah, Matt, is interesting, you know, she mentioned this because, as I said before, many of us, we fail to recognize the early telltale symptoms, and that's why it's important to have this information so that we will be able to pick it up early. In addition to that, we find that there's a high suicide risk, there's a risk of suicide in people with major depression. So even that is important too, because if we could stop it from the start, we could, of course, forego the possibility of suicidal attempts.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, I don't have the hard facts in front of me, compare and contrast, but I think a year or two ago, we saw a lot of suicides in Dominica. I guess a lot of depressed people.
And the bottom line is, knowing that major depression is a leading factor, then you know, we have to take that seriously.
Yes.
And also, I believe the stigma associated with mental illness. A lot of people are afraid to get the medical help that they need, because as soon as someone goes through some sort of mental distress, we immediately categorize them as crazy or quote unquote mad. But it is a mental condition, and you need to be seen by a medical doctor.
All right, let's listen a little bit here to this story.
I'm sorry this took so long, but I've got work outside YouTube and I've had a crazy busy week. But today I am here and we can finally talk. This one will be a lot longer because I feel like I don't have to rush this. I feel like we can just, you know, sit down and relax and talk a bit. So, yeah, first of all, I need to make an intro.
All right, let's see if we can take this phone call. Hello.
Matt, I wanted to ask one other question. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Again.
I'm seeing that 90% of people that commit suicide, according to studies, they were suffering from depression. Is it okay that if one could conclude that people that are suffering from depression are more likely, are more prone to hurt themselves than people that are totally mad? Thank you, and I'm listening.
All right, that's a very important question. Anybody can answer this one? People that are depressed, are they more prone to hurt themselves?
Yeah, this is essentially what we're saying, because the studies have revealed that there is a very high association between major depression and suicide. In fact, suicidal ideation, or the thought of committing suicide, it hinges a lot on whether you are depressed or not. So we are saying that major depression and suicidal attempts, these come in hand in hand. So we just to the idea of having to forego the suicide, as the Queen said, we have to catch those symptoms early and seek intervention. Matt, I just wanted to tell our listeners.
But hold on there, because the caller is still on the line there. I wanted to find out whether he was satisfied. Oh, he left it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that sometimes we just think that depression is for adults. It's just, okay, we're talking about adult stuff. No.
Old people think.
Depression can be in children, it could be in teens. In fact, in the teens, we have here in 1 in 8, 1 in 8 teens. So it is quite common in the child, of course. And what do we notice is that child, we may just think, well, the child is sad. Okay, there's a difference between sad and persistently sad. And then sometimes we find that the child has disruptive behavior at school, no interest in activities, no interest in schoolwork. Even in family life, the child is not obeying commands, not doing his normal chores. And then we tend to tell ourselves, well, don't worry about that child. His mother was like that. His father is that. Those kind of things like that. We should not discount it and say, well, these can be early signs of depression. So we have to take it seriously. So it's not just, oh, he's misbehaving. Mama ite comme ça, papa ite comme ça. Those kinds of things like that.
All right, let's take another phone call and then we'll wrap it up in a minute there. We're discussing depression. Remember last week, very important, half day on Thursday. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
This is Jade. This is Uncle Ruben. Congrats.
Oh, I think you're calling the wrong number. You call it Uncle J. I'm not Uncle J, okay? So you may be calling somebody else. Oh, J, meaning you? Maybe, I don't know. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Yeah, you're there. Go ahead.
Yeah, tell Jade. This is the Uncle Ruben.
Oh, you're saying tell Jade Ruben is an uncle.
Oh, hello.
Sorry about that. I kind of miscommunicated there. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Just tell her she have me feeling super because her mother is my sister, and that's congrats.
Okay, all right. So that's your niece there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Your uncle is saying congratulations.
Thank you.
We're dealing with a different phone call there. 944. I guess the congratulations continue to come in, I imagine, on a daily basis, right?
Yes, very much so.
Congratulations. Hello.
Yes, good morning, my brother. What's going on?
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your guests in studio. Matt, that's a very important topic you'll have in studio because a lot of our people on island are going through those conditions, and we tend to find out what is the cause of that. But my brother, I'll keep stressing, a bad diet and toxin in the body contributes to depression and madness, and also that chlorine in the water, my brother. People got to stop taking that lightly.
All right, let me let the doctor deal with that almost immediately. Our health has a lot to do with that, Frank? Because everybody have our own interpretation of what it might be.
It's possible. In fact, we have, when we're asking what causes depression, it's due to a complex combination of factors. It could be biological, it could be genetics, what you could have inherited from your parents. Environmental is important. What you take in from the environment, how your body interacts with the environment, including your social and psychological interaction that you have in the environment. Your life events, for example, some people may have gone through some divorce, but exceeds that level of coping with that divorce, something that persists up to months or even years. Poverty. We all have different ways of coping with poverty, but poverty is, of course, one of the possible risk factors for depression. Your personality. Some people have different personalities. Whether you can cope or not. Childhood trauma. Some children have gone through severe childhood trauma, and that persists in life to make them become non-functional, therefore, contributing to depression. Drugs, of course, abuse of recreational drugs. If you had a past head injury, okay? Chronic pain syndrome, that is important, Matt, because sometimes we say, well, that person cannot deal with the pain from the prostate cancer, the pain from chronic pain syndromes can really get you depressed. Okay, so all of these
You're
are
asking yourself that
factors,
question, why me all the time?
Right. It's like, and therefore, the whole complex, the hopelessness, the despair, the suicidal ideation, okay? You just lose interest because it's like, why me? I'm trying everything and nothing is working for me.
All right, let's take another phone call. Hello.
Yes, good morning, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is Jid's uncle. Also, my name is Roy. I refer to her as movie star, so she knows.
Okay. Your uncles who refers to you as movie star.
Hello, Uncle Roy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I want to comment on the role that she has taken in helping a mom, because I know it's not an easy task, you know, deal with that situation. Because I too have gone through that also, as she would know, you know, with my mom too. Because I know it can be very difficult. It really is nothing easy, because at times when you think, you know, they're getting better, as she stated, they get, you know, act up, and sometimes the things that they say, even to you yourself as your own relative, you know, it can be so frustrating, and sometimes you feel like it's giving up. But I see that she has overcome that, and she's continuing helping her mom. So I really want to comment on that and tell her, you know, keep on doing the good thing that she's doing. You know, she'll be blessed by Almighty Yahweh for that, for sure.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, you're being congratulated on the telephone lines. So it's a topic that I suspect we have to continue to explore. Hello.
Good morning, Matthias, and your guest in studio.
Yes.
Matt, we're looking forward for that exploration of that topic. So I'm just hoping that you extend the further invite to, you know, the doctor and to Jada. I call her by her name because I believe her name is so significant. I must say, you know, applause to her for that, you know, role that she's, you know, taking up. And there's so much in store for her. I'm looking forward, you know, to so much that will be coming from her. A caller called, and he called back to back and asked two significant questions, and I am so thankful how the doctor, with clarity and simplicity, was able to respond to those. And Dion called, but I'd like to go a bit higher than him and recognize that it is because of this honor, you know, you have things like depression, you know, coming about. So if it is that, you know, honor, you know, is given, whether it be for the women, whether the men honor the women, and persons honor authority, you will find, you know, that can be, you know, a way, you know, from our society, that depression, you know, that the society has been undergoing, and that just clearly shows us where our society is in a disorderly state. So thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Jade, and thank you for the list.
Well, I want to thank the Ministry of Health, especially Nurse James, who was basically organized this activity this morning, and I suspect we may have to continue with that subject there. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, good day. The doctor just said that when people take the illegal drugs,
yes,
it can cause them those things. But if you look at all the facts, even on the manufacturer warning, the drugs that they give at the psychiatric unit, the drugs they give for depression, they also cause suicidal thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe we'll bring down the doctor from the psychiatric unit to address just what you're talking about in terms of the medication that is given at that unit. Okay, Dr. Benji? We will talk about that, because a lot of people say when you go to the psych, you get more mad than when you went there the first time. So, Dr. Benji, sometime we will talk about the medications being given at the psychiatric unit. That has actually uncovered a new worm there. But let me not allow Dr. Senja to deal with that. Let's allow Dr. Benji, because Dr. Senja is not the one who gives the medicines at the psych unit. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
I would like to know if depression could lead to what you call Bell's palsy.
You know what? It's a very interesting question that you're asking this one. I suffered from Bell's palsy maybe in my early days in journalism on 2 occasions. And doctor, I will admit that it had to do with a lot of stress.
Yeah, this comes in place. You remember earlier on I said that there are predisposing factors that can lead to depression.
Yes.
Bell's palsy itself is an inflammatory process happening to the
on the nerve.
To the nerve, okay? The nerve that deals with hearing. But as I said, there are predisposing factors that can lead to depression. So chronic pain syndrome is one of them. So just imagine you are afflicted with Bell's palsy. You always have that constant pain. Your eyes are inflamed. Your mouth deviates and all. You know, your
speech
with your
deviates
eyes.
as well.
Yeah, you know your speech. So yeah, definitely. So these can predispose you to. But Bell's palsy itself will not cause depression. It's the affliction you get from that can lead to that. Matt, while we are talking about that, I think it's very important that we explore the stigma that can be associated with depression, and that stigma leads to psychosis. It's like, okay, you are depressed, so you must be psychotic. Depression does not mean that you are psychotic. Depression does not mean that you have to go up to APU and being treated by Dr. Benji. Depression, on many occasions, the family physician, if he's astute or if she's astute, she should be able to recognize these early signs and symptoms. Of course, sometimes you have to collaborate with the professional psychiatric. But what I'm saying is that you don't necessarily, because you are depressed, you don't necessarily have to be sent up to APU to be treated, and that contributes to the stigma. So we have to explore that very well, because the population must understand that not because you are going through a depression or you're depressed that you are psychotic, and herein lies the stigma. Monsieur fou, Madame la fou, moi ouais aller APU pour taper traitement. No, it does not necessarily mean that. Depression itself is treatable. Of course, you have different forms of depression, different presentation, manifestation. So if it's presenting with psychotic features, of course, you would have to be treated by some, consultant psychiatrist or something. So, but if it's just the mere depression, I think it is treatable just on your basic medication and psychosocial support and psychology and these things. And finally, Matt, I just want to add that when you are dealing with people with depression, it's important that we build that trusting relationship and work in an open environment with that person. All right. Otherwise, it would be futile trying to work with somebody with depression and not having to make that person trust you. You are working with somebody who is depressed, but yet the environment is not conducive to that. You have to have an environment that leads to or that contributes to that level of confidentiality. You have to be able to discuss and speak to that person in levels where they can understand you. It's not just, belching out very high-tech words. Yeah, so you have to cross-check to make sure that that person understands exactly your role in assisting them.
All right. We'll take a final call, and of course we'll allow Queen Jerd to wrap it up here this morning. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there, caller? No, I guess no patience there, huh? Queen Jerd, it was a pleasure this morning. Of course, we have to stop for another program this morning, but maybe we'll do it some other time.
Okay, wonderful. It was a pleasure to be here. And in closing off, I'm very happy that Dr. Seja spoke about stigma, because there is a lot of stigma attached to mental illness, and that is why a lot of people are afraid to get the help that they need. But if we all can open up the topic and discuss mental illness, then it would be much easier for persons who are suffering with any, or who may think that they are suffering with any mental health condition, to get the help that they need. Just because you are suffering with some mental health condition, it does not necessarily mean that you have to be admitted to the APU. We all go through difficulties. We must recognize that. And at some point in life, we all need help. So get the help that you need.
Thank you so much, Doc. Any closing comments at this time?
My closing comments is that I just want to explore one of the popular myths related to depression. You have some people who think that if someone is depressed, then the best way to help them is to try to cheer them up. Oh, you'll be all right, you'll be okay, that's all right. Actually, this is a false move. Essentially, you have to do your friend or your family or your relative a favor and encourage them to talk to their doctor or a mental health professional. Encourage them to open up, try lifting up their spirits. That in itself may make them feel, because sometimes they could be misunderstood. They could misunderstand you. As far as you're concerned, you telling them just, okay, you'll be all right, you'll be fine. The most important thing is to help that person seek the next level of attention, of care. And that is the physician, the counselor, etc., etc. So I just want to close by saying that I'm very proud to be in the presence of the Queen, and of course you, Matt, and thanks for the opportunity. I hope that we'll get another opportunity to explore even further.
There are many medicals in the terms that needs to be explored. Just brought up the whole issue of the Bell's palsy.
Yes.
It's an issue that a lot of people don't take recognition of, and we need to explore.
And I think the stigma is important. I think we have a lot of people who, as I said, depression is common. We fail to realize it. Or sometimes we do recognize it, but the stigma attached. If I go to that psychiatrist, bam, they think that I am mad. So they look at depression, they equate depression with psychosis. And therein lies the stigma. Oh, Mr. was going through a depressive episode or depression. Somebody else says, no, that's a monsieur fou.
I understand that perfectly. Queen Judd, and of course, my teacher and doctor now.
Wonderful.
Dr. Seja, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good.
Beauty, no need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen your eyes.
Delicious and creamy coconut curry shrimp, decadent and smoky barbecue ribs, mouth-watering seafood, and a wide selection. Try a satisfying glass of our famous Greenhouse rum punch. Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill, the ideal place for casual dining, healthy MSG-free foods. Come and dine with us in our downtown location or on the Mero Highway. And don't forget our Bayview Catering Hall, where we do weddings, company events, and so much more. Greenhouse is a place for a quality dining experience, drinks, and a comfortable ambiance. Call us in Roseau, 448-0080. In Mero, 449-7223. Visit our Facebook page, Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill and Bayview Catering Hall. We work hard at improving our quality to meet your demands.
Pourtant, Timon la oui, I don't like beef. Puis manger mon souviens beef, je n'y pour dire c'est good meat. Mais là, il vient pour Yves corn beef, ou il a qui madame. Mami, madame, for sopa. Why madame? Adam's wife, no Eve. Depuis you want to listen la, every day, good evening. Even it's day or night, mama is have say Yves corn beef evening. Because you see, Yves corn beef maintains that special old-time taste. Here me Yves corn beef, of course, with bread. Yves corn beef epi bakes. Yves corn beef epi macaron. Yves corn beef epi tiwi. It just like titiwi and rice. And if corn beef with boiled plantain, you got mommy, cut the plantain and put the corn beef in it like a sandwich. If corn beef kavini a degose, the big tin and the small tin. Bon, lewe papa même ouvon tip and if corn beef is for him alone with a big mastiff. And what I like about the if corn beef is the key to open it. That's strong. If I can cassi and lemon. If corn beef, messieurs, mesdames, Agents Belfast Estates Limited, ever got tupa to a payer. So to everyone, I wish you a good evening today. Comme madame a reporté ça qui doit acheter médecine pour député à pharmacie, where Harry did good bossing class, if you want to support and land. It is how cafe Episa, and not well my last 2 words. Episa. Harry upon yes, it's true. Pisa money on Tipotla. Doctor Dimo, who made urine and zemo 3 times a day. Madame Lieli, do urine, Harry, mew, no medicine for shape are you. And where's the prescription? It me a posh mommy. What is the sense of buying that? No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. PS.plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Kote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Kote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They've brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see right in your medical book, next of kin, Henrietta Harry, movie farmer. By the way, it's next of kin, King. The Harry Ukakemo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have
Relocation notice from Isa Trading Limited. Dear customers, we regret to inform you that the location of our supermarket on 13 Hanover Street will be closed permanently on Tuesday, April 17th, 2017 to facilitate relocation. As soon as we have found a suitable premise, we will be reopening our supermarket. We wish to apologize for the short notice, which was beyond our control. We are very grateful to you, our customers, for your unwavering support over the years. Our aim is to continue serving you in the very near future. The management and staff of ESA Trading Limited once again would like to thank customers for their unwavering support.
There I was, lying on a white sand beach, a cool umbrella drink in my hand, and a plate of delicious island cuisine, listening to the gentle sound of the waves. Okay, I was in my backyard, sitting in my kid's swimming pool, listening to the blues and eating pretzels. But my dream is about to become a reality with the help of Fast Cash. I got an incredible rate on a personal loan. And get this, now I've automatically got a chance to win a staycation for 2. So hurry into Fast Cash because the offer ends April 12th. See you on the beach. Oh, and if you listen carefully, you can hear the island voices singing too. That's the smarter, better. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, it's 10:03, and of course, the news will come up right after. I will stop here with Fast Cash. 2 beautiful ladies in the house with me this morning. One on my right and one more towards the center. You not saying hi to me this morning?
Hi, Matt.
Oh, you're not singing Calypso this one, right? Is everything good?
Yes.
I was Fast Cash this morning.
Good.
Good?
Yes.
All right, okay. Hi, how are you?
I am fine, Matt.
I know you don't sing Calypso, so I can't address you in that way. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
You're more involved in the village council business, all right?
That's right.
There's a big promotion on, I was told, with Fast Cash.
Yes, Matt. Good morning again to the listeners of Q95 and also to the employees of Fast Cash. I know they're listening.
Always locked in.
Always locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Just a recap of last week's program.
Mm-hmm.
We informed the listeners that if they applied for a Fast Cash loan, they could get a chance to win an all-expense-paid staycation at the Kalibishi Cove.
Did somebody win?
No, it hasn't been the Kalibishi Cove for 2 days and 3 nights. So for the listeners who are wondering if they still have a chance to win this staycation, the answer is yes. The draw takes place this Wednesday, so you still have time to take
You have a few days.
Yes, of this promotion.
You wish you win, huh? You want to go Kalibishi too?
I want to go.
No, you don't qualify.
So, in order to take advantage of this promotion, Ms. Paquette will inform the listeners of the requirements.
Well, we have our basic requirements. You need your 2 government-issued IDs, your 2 recent salary slips for the customers who work on a fortnightly basis. We'd need 4, and you need your job letter and your utility bill. We accept any utility bills, your water bill, your electricity bill. We also make acceptances for credit card statements as well. And what's the other? Credit card statements and the bank statements, the activity summary.
All right, so do you need that for your business loan or just the ordinary loan?
Well, it's basically for the consumer loans as well.
Okay, so you heard the requirements again. And can you repeat that for me, please?
Okay, so you need your 2 government valid photo IDs. Some people come with ping pong. We're not referring to the ping pongs. We are referring to the IDs, as in your social security card, your driver's license, your passport, and for those who don't have a passport, we will accept the police record.
Okay, let me just put it out there. I suspect we should start thinking about the government state ID, because if I move to Boston or New York, they say, where's your state ID? So maybe we should start considering that as well as a possible ID, okay? So maybe, I'm just throwing it out.
Okay, maybe. That has to be brought up to management. And to continue with that, it's you also need your 2 recent salary slips. For fortnightly clients, you need 4. So ensure that you come with your 4 salary slips. Don't say we didn't tell you it's 4, so you need 4, and your job letter and your proof of address. Will accept the utility bills are the basics, but then we'll accept the credit card statements and also the bank statements as well.
And also to make mention, we now have the mobile CSR. So if you're unable to bring in your documents, or if you come in to apply for your loan and you're unable to bring back your signed documents, so you can't get them signed, the mobile CSR takes care of that for you. So you're basically a VIP customer when you come to Fast Cash. And in order to contact the mobile CSR, this is the number 275-6 804. So if you're unable to come back to the office to complete your transaction, you could call the mobile CSR. Her number is 275-6805. No matter where you are, she will come to you.
So you have gone on the road.
Yes, we have. And we're also open on Saturdays from 8:30 to 1:30. So if you do not complete your transaction on Friday, you can come in on Saturday from 8:30 to 1:30 to complete your transaction.
All right. So you see, you can't go wrong there.
Yes. Also, just to add as well, Matt, I know some people are aware, but others are not. So for those who are not aware, you don't need to fill out any credit reports, because I still meet people and then they still ask. So you don't need to fill out no credit reports, and you do not need anybody to go sign. You do not need a co-maker to sign for you when applying for loan Fast Cash. For any of our loans, you don't need right, Ms. Ala?
Right.
You don't need anybody to sign for you.
That's right. And that is why, Matt, we are we are smarter, faster, and better. We try to make things easy for the customers. When you come in, we try to give you that monies within 2 hours. We try our best to stay within that time frame, 2 hours time frame.
It's at 2 hours.
Right. 2
All
hours.
right.
So if you have an emergency, you come in, you can be assured that Fast Cash will deliver.
Okay. You notice you have a glow this morning?
Yes.
What's going on here?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on there? I know what's going on.
I'm happy today.
Huh?
I'm happy.
I'm just asking. Where's this glow coming from? It's a question.
Yeah, I'm happy.
You feeling guilty about something?
No, I'm not.
All right. Now give us your numbers and your addresses, both in Roseau and Portsmouth, before we go.
In Roseau, we are located on 1921 King George V Street, and Portsmouth, we are on the corner of Hillsborough and Bay Street. Our contact for Roseau is 448-3278, and you can contact us at the Portsmouth office at 445-5257.
Thank you so
and
much.
Also, you could find us on Facebook or our website www.fastcashcaribbean.com, and that's where you can also do your online application. So if you're unable to come to the office and the mobile CSR is unable to come to you at the time, you could also do your online application at www.fastcashcaribbean.com.
All right.
And we are on Instagram as well, right? We are on Instagram as well. So
well, you guys all over the place.
All over, so just keep locked
for
new updates and new promotions. We have a lot of new promotions.
All right, I'll be waiting to hear from you as usual sometime later. All right?
Okay.
Thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn off the mic and she'll tell me why she's glowing like that. All right, we're going to come back right after this. Dominica, right after this. This is Fast Cash.
There I was.